Hello everyone, it's Kathryn here, and I want to say a huge thank you to you all out there for joining me and following the work that I do on my YouTube channel, Serenity Sews. Now then, right from the start today, I want to make it clear that I've been working on a project, and the fabric has been gifted to me from the wonderful Amanda at the Sewcial Studio. This lovely and jam-packed shop is in a town near to me. It's probably about 10 miles away, and it's in a place called Wilnecote, which is one of the areas that kind of sits on the outside of the town, Tamworth. Recently, when I was actually in there choosing the fabric for this project, I met the lovely Rachel, who is part of our Zoom, I suppose, sewing group that is run by Andrea of Beyond the Pink Door. So that was a massive surprise, and we both couldn't believe that we were there in the shop, and we'd happened to, you know, where the forces align, and we were so thrilled that we'd seen each other. Anyway, a little while ago, I saw something that another YouTuber and I suppose vlogger, Instagrammer. I know I'm useless at these things, aren't I? Anyway, Emma, who is a fantastic sewer, had done some work for Amanda. I think she made a Friday Pattern Company Saguaro set, which is the bottoms and the tops. And it was gorgeous, and Amanda had supplied the fabric for that. I'll do a shout out as part of all the information at the end of the video, so that I don't say the wrong person's name. Anyway, I've used Amanda and her wonderful fabric for some time now. It's a wonderful shop. The minute you walk in, you are given either a hug and a cup of coffee, or a cup of coffee and a hug, whichever way round. But the welcome is so warm, and she is just passionate about sewing of all kind of genres. So not just dressmaking, quilting, bag making, anything at all. And she does run some wonderful classes, and I particularly like to see what young people are making, and Amanda does hold them in the shop there, and I have been in on occasion when they've been doing work together. So she's a real kind of out there person for supporting all genres of sewing. So I contacted her and said I'd love to do something for her, and she says, yeah, come on in and have a look what you'd like to make, and then we'll go from there. Now, I'd had it in my mind for quite a long time now to make a blazer jacket, and wasn't quite sure what I wanted. I knew I didn't want anything like I can't remember which, Paolo jacket, that's the one. And it's a free pattern, the Paolo jacket. I've made a few of those, but it's very casual. Wear it a lot in the spring and summer, and the last one I made was in a bright blue denim. Now, I didn't want anything like that. I wanted something more winter focused, but could take me to, you know, anywhere, supermarket, to going out. So I'd had a look on the website, and I'd seen this gorgeous fabric, and this is what I'm now wearing. Can you see that? And it's actually almost like velvet. I'm not even sure what the fabric is, to be honest, but it's quite firm, so it's not a soft floppy fabric like you would expect with the velvet. But this, I mean, the shades that you get, it's actually got its own pattern. I have got a few photographs of me working through the project, so I'll put those on for you. I was aware that the pattern that I wanted shouldn't have too much fuss down the front. I wanted it simple, didn't want princess seams on it, and I had got patterns where I could have used, but I was particularly interested in what the Friday Pattern Company's heather blazer was like, just to sew up. I have made quite a few of their patterns in the past, and I do think they are well drafted. They're so inclusive in terms of size, but they're also well instructed, I think. So I was interested in doing that. So I said I wanted to make the heather blazer, hence that's what I'm wearing today. Now then, I also noted that it's a lined jacket, and that's probably something that gives it just that little bit more dressed up feeling, whereas the polo jacket, when I've made that before, it's not. And yes, you can fancy it up inside if you want to, but this actually has separate pattern pieces for your lining, and it's also very well explained. So let me just read you what the description is for the jacket. It's an unstructured modern blazer. This comfortable and stylish jacket has a slightly oversized fit. I can vouch for that, but not too oversized. That was another thing. This pattern is designed to be approachable for the beginner sewer. And if you've always wanted to dip your toe into making outerwear, but I felt intimidated, this is a great place to start. So, fabric chosen and pattern cut out and ready. Let me tell you size wise what I did. This jacket goes from an extra small right up to a 7X. Now I'm not going to read out the measurements for you, but I wanted this not to be so oversized that it was kind of falling off my shoulders, etc. Now it is just off the shoulder, you can see that. So what I did, I cut a medium for the top bit and then graded out to a large for the length of the jacket, so say from the waist down. You also need, so it's, what was it, 2.5 meters for the jacket, and 2.2 meters for the jacket. 2 meters was absolutely plenty for me. And then for the lining, it's 1.6, 1.5 is plenty. Now, Amanda was lovely. She gave me more than enough to get going with this. The important thing, though, here is the use of interfacing, and you have got different instructions. So you want woven interfacing. Now, this is usually a cotton-based interfacing, presses beautifully, and it doesn't kind of melt under your iron, that kind of thing. And then you also need a knit interfacing, which is used for the collar and the undercollar as well. So the reason for that is, if you're going to fold something over or have a roll, then actually you need something that isn't going to be too rigid. And so that's why you need a knit interfacing. there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pattern pieces, including the lining pieces. So it's not hugely overwhelming. Next thing, print your pattern, which is what I did. I'm going to show you in a second. The very first thing it has you do is make your pockets. Right, I'm just going to slip this off now so I can show you. I know I'm sparkly today, but I'm doing a Christmas message this evening to midwives, so I thought I'll make a little effort here and be Christmassy. So, pockets. There you go. Patch pockets, very, very easy to do. Now, it didn't tell me to interface the top of the pocket, but I like to do that because I think it makes the pocket more hard wearing for one thing, and it doesn't flop. I suppose if I made a linen one, I think I'd still do the same because I'm a bit of a stickler for interfacing. The other thing that I did as well was I lined it, and that's because I just feel like it gives it that nice end to the project, rather than feeling the underside of the fabric on your hands when you put your hands in the pocket. So they're very simple. I use tailor tacks to mark on my pattern pieces so that I didn't accidentally iron over them, and when you use marker pens, I have to do them all over again. So I did all my tailor tacks on this jacket. So that included the notch for the collar and the revere there, and for the marking on the sleeve head. So very quickly this jacket came together. Now you will see that on the sleeve it's a 2-part sleeve. Now this gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of making a sleeve that fits you better. And again, I didn't want the sleeves to be so big and baggy that it looked like a bit of a dustbin jacket. And also used the lining, slippy lining, and this was a bargain. It's the proper gentleman's tailoring lining, and I got that from Boys for something like £4 a metre. I reckon I bought about 4 metres of that because I thought you can't go wrong with that, can you? Now then, this jacket has you set the sleeve in, so that's when you put this part of the sleeve inside a smaller hole. Now my way of doing this is just to do a little running stitch along the sleeve head and then fit it in that way. However, I also wanted this not to flop, because this fabric has quite a bit of structure to it. So I made my own little sleeve head there out of a little bit of batting and stitched it in, and I think I'm happy I did that because it really does hold the shape of the sleeve and the shoulder beautifully. Take your time over putting the collar on. Now there is a brilliant video that goes along with this. It's a tutorial, and if you follow that, have a good look at it. And then I found that this was so easy following those instructions, so I tried to do it as if I'd never done it before, and I have to say it was well worth me watching that tutorial. Interestingly, the collar, the top collar is cut in two and the under collar is in two, but the under collar is cut on the bias, so that gives it much more flexibility for setting in. Had I have thought about this, I would have done the top collar on a fold, because I'm not really certain I like a join on the top collar. But given that this fabric has so much luster and shine, you can't really see it unless you're particularly picky. So that's just another thing. If you would prefer a smooth balanced collar without any join on it, then just put it on the fold and stitch it up that way. Right, the instructions for putting in the lining are again well explained, and don't you just love this lining? I think the match is so perfect, it really is. And this is a viscose, so it just is delightful, I think, and even probably like to wear it on the outside. Very well explained about the hemline and how to get that nice crisp edge on there. I did hand stitch it. It does show you how to machine stitch it and then bag it out through the back. Where are we? There is a back seam down there. Whoop, sorry about that. Do apologise. So it's very well explained with reasonable diagrams, I think, for that. Let me put the jacket back on because I want to just show you. That's it. I am going to show you what it looks like full length. It is a perfect length for me, 2-3 inches just below my bottom. One button, which is exactly what I wanted. I just think it's got a nice finish. Gorgeous. Let's have a look if you can see. Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it, doing it that way? But one button, roll up sleeves, and it's kind of, for me, it's a day to evening jacket that I will wear. Again, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Andrea at the Sewcial Studio, Amanda at the Sewcial Studio. And if you're thinking about trying out the heather blazer, then I would say go for it. It's not onerous. I stitch this up in 2 afternoons. What I would say is it takes a while to do all your preparation, such as interfacing, tailor tacking or marking up, getting everything ready so that when you do stitch it, you can just kind of forge ahead. I would like to make another one, I think, in a linen, because I just think this type of jacket is so useful, and really making it in any other fabric really does change the feel of it and the look. So this, as I said, is, I consider, a real success. The fabric is beautiful. Take a look at Amanda's website as well. She is online, and I will put the information underneath. And I would say go for it. Particularly, I know I'm probably not going to go out much at Christmas, but I shall certainly wear this in the daytime. It's a bit too cold at the moment for popping out in, but I love it, and I love this fabric too. I absolutely love the lining fabric, and actually wouldn't mind to make a dress in that. But anyway, so I'm going to say thank you once again to Amanda. Check out all of her resources because there are many, and I'm going to say goodbye for now. I probably might get another video in next week. Husband is much better now, so I have got a lot more of my time back, life back for sewing, and see you all soon. Take care. Bye. Oh, give me a thumbs up. Apparently that's what I'm supposed to do. Bye.